We are here now with best-selling author and one of our favorite guests, Danielle Steel. She's written 160 books, 160 and counting. Can't wait to read her latest one. It's called Dangerous Games. It is out now, and it is great to have you back with us as always, my friend.
I am so thrilled to be here. Robin is my favorite person in the world. So
when I was going through my health crisis, she sent me books that weren't even out yet that she was working on, so I would have something to read. But we can go. So usually it's 6 books. You said last time we saw you, you said you work at 6 books out a year.
Yeah.
That's increased to 7 a year?
7. Yes.
How do you do that?
I don't know. I just work all the time. 7 is interesting. It's sort of like jumping through flaming hoops, but it's exciting.
How do you keep the characters all straight? And sometimes do you forget and put a character in the wrong book?
I'm very, very tired. It's only happened a couple of times, and suddenly there they are in the wrong book. It's like, oh, get them off the Titanic.
So tell us about this one. I hear this one is a little different. It's like political and international intrigue.
I try and keep them all different, and this one is a political thriller about corrupt politicians and international oil deals, and there's murder and all sorts of excitement in it. And it was very fun to write, and there are always surprises in the book, and I ended up calling my editor in the middle of the night when somebody kills somebody else and said, "You're never going to believe it. He just killed him." So it surprised even me, but it was a fun book, and it's very different.
Well, they're always a page turner, always a page turner. And you have devoted super fans, and we have a couple here that would like, Sophia would like to ask you a question. What's your question?
Other than your own, what are some of your favorite books that you have read?
Oh, I don't get enough time to read other people's books, unfortunately. It's true. I enjoy, sort of very popular fiction and things that I can just relax with. And I read a lot of religious stuff, which I enjoy. I love Joel Osteen.
Oh, I love Joel too.
He's fun. And
very uplifting.
Yeah, very. And sometimes French novelists and stuff, but most of the time I have to read me.
That's not a problem at all. And Gray, you have a question as well.
So my question is, does your book Perfect Life, that's my favorite one, or any of your other books, do they come from personal experiences?
No, they sometimes come from something I've seen or not necessarily a personal experience, but I was intrigued in that book by the idea of sometimes famous lives look so perfect to the outside world. And I mean, you've seen that too, and everybody thinks, oh, wow, but they don't realize the tragedies or the struggles that you have behind them. So I like the idea of a woman with a big career who is, struggling to keep the career and who has a personal challenge with a daughter who is sight impaired. And so it wasn't personal, but it's things I care about.
Gotcha. But something that was very personal, around Christmas time, you started choking, and your daughter saved your life?
Very personal. And actually, it was an interesting experience. It had never happened to me before. And I had a cold, which I have again. And I threw a vitamin C in and went running off to do stuff, and it got stuck, but totally stuck, no air. And it was the most panicky feeling. And they say that mostly people run off and hide, but instead I ran into the hallway where all my kids were home for Christmas and pointed to my throat, but there was absolutely no air going through. And all of them started, and they're grown-ups, there were like 12 or 14 people, they all started to scream and say, oh my God, she's choking, what do we do? And nobody knew. And the Heimlich is a really important thing to know for a stranger or a family member. And one of my daughters, not knowing what else to do, picked me up and banged me on the floor. I mean, literally, she's taller than I am. And I was going, no, 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 no. But it worked. I mean, she bonked me on the floor, and it popped out, but it really scared me to death. So now, very inelegantly, I've put up the choking signs for restaurants in our kitchen in both our homes. Do you know how to do the Heimlich? But it was a good lesson for all of us that nobody knew what to do, but it worked.
Oh, well, we're glad that it did.
I am too.
I'm sure that you are.
It really scared me. Now, every time I've taken a vitamin, I walk into someone's room and say, I am taking a vitamin. So if I keel over, they know why.
Well, Danielle, never enough time. Thank you so much.
I love seeing it.
Games is out now. Guess what? Everyone in the audience is going home.